Hello, we're going to do a little bit of flat picking today. By the way, this thing is called the flat pick. If you just say the guitar pick, that's great. Everybody will know what you're talking about. But when you say picking, somebody might say, wait, finger picking or pick picking? So flat picking is what we call it. Finger picking, flat picking. And it is flat, so there you go. That's why. We're going to do a little bit of an American classic song here called Liberty. I often call this a fiddle tune because I think of people playing it on the violin or the fiddle. Same thing, by the way, just difference is how they're played. And but I think it works great for the guitar. It's a little bit challenging. It's not just a simple little tune. So if you need to work on something a little more simple, I would encourage you to go back to Ode to Joy and review that again and use your pick on it. Maybe you were using your fingers on it before and getting it down, and that's great. But maybe you should try it also with your pick. But we're going to go over a more straightforward way to pick this song called Liberty, and then we're going to do a little more complicated way to pick it. So what is this song? I'm going to put the music here as I usually do. It's kind of a longer song, but we're really only going to cover the first half of it in our lesson here. Let me just play it for you, the first half of the song. It sounds like this. 1, 2, play. Very fast, right? You will not play it that fast when you start. You will take it much slower. Now, you can see that there is also music written. There's guitar tab underneath, but there's also music. So you can look at the notes if you'd like. Everything in here is on the first 3 strings. And we have primarily 2 different types of rhythm notes. We'll cover rhythm on another episode soon. But there are these notes at the beginning which are connected by a beam. They're called eighth notes. 2 of those are going to go in a beat. Ta, 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 ta. And then you can see in that next measure, we do not have notes with the beams. Those are called quarter notes, and they're simply going to get 1 note per beat. Ta, ta. So if you're feeling your beat, if you're playing eighth notes, you'll put 2 inside every beat. You might even try feeling a beat and going, and then also just simply going. And those are the 2 main types of notes we have. In fact, I believe it's the only type of note that we have in the first half of the song called Liberty. Of course, you can also just use your ear and listen to me play it and see how it goes. So the more straightforward way to play Liberty is to simply use down picks on everything. And then you skip down. This will probably be your most challenging thing, is skipping over those strings in that first full measure. I have the bass in my palm like we like to do back here on the bridge. And I'm just going back and forth. And then I've got my run of eighth notes. I'm taking nice small picks, firm but not hard. And I'm not coming at it from the air. I'm not hitting at the string. I am more pulling the note out with my pick. Okay? So give this song a try. Pause the video, play it a little bit. I'll give you a little play-along rhythm towards the end. And the other way to do it, though, you may be thinking, what is the more complex way to pick this song? How was I doing it? Well, actually, I forget how I was doing it at the beginning. But what we can do is we can utilize alternate picking, meaning we can use some downs and some ups. Whenever we play the quarter notes, 1 note per beat, we will simply be playing downs. Down, 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 down. But when we have eighth notes, the notes that are connected by the beam over top, 2 inside a beat, we'll pluck down on the beat and then up on the note that's in between the beat, which we typically call an and or a te. So if I'm thinking of the note on the beat, I may say there's beat 1 in the measure, and then that sort of back up is called the and. So if I'm playing quarter notes, I might think 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I'm hitting the ups too, it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Not super important to know, but just introducing that idea because we'll be referring to the ands or the tays, the in-between beats, which we uppick on. So what happens when you do that is if you're just using your downs on quarter notes and you're using down ups on eighth notes is just like in our strum patterns, you end up just moving your hand in the same matter, in the same motion, the entire song. Ta, 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 ta. Look at that. The hand is just simply moving up and down the whole time. There's always exceptions to this in different tunes, little wonky things you have to try or change things around, but in this song, just a very strict alternate picking works very well. 1, 2, 3. And of course I can get many more notes. I can't talk and play at the same time, but I can get many more notes that way because I'm getting, every time I go down and back up, instead of just hitting once, I'm hitting twice. So I'm going to be able to play it eventually with a much greater facility. Okay, totally fine if those fingers come out a little bit like that, that's fine, or if they stay tucked up, that's great too. So try the song with all downs at first, and as your left hand starts to get used to it, and you start getting accustomed to skipping across those strings, you might try to throw in some alternate picking and watch yourself to make sure you are doing a very strict alternate picking. You'll be tempted to throw in a couple of ups or downs in a row, particularly as you change strings, but I would encourage you on this song to look down, maybe memorize the measure that has a bunch of eighth notes in it, and look down and make sure you are doing a very strict cross-picking pattern, and you will get it. So now I want you to try to play it with me. I'm going to split the screen here and put myself playing the song as well. This song also has pickup notes, meaning those first two notes are kind of before the guitar rhythm kicks in. And I'm going to play a rhythm kind of like this. Okay? We're not going over the chords too much yet, but you can certainly try them. It'd be great. We have a C chord, we have a G chord, and then we have an F chord, which we'll cover more in the future. I believe they have a full bar of the F. Don't worry, we're not doing bar chords yet, but we'll get to that later. We're going to play an F like this if you want to try the chords, where we just bar these two strings at once, and then our middle finger on the third string and our third finger on the fourth string. And then we kind of ignore our low strings here. So if you want to try the chords on this as well. But right now we're going to take a tempo that goes ta, 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 ta. I'll say 1, ready, play, and then you and I will come in. 1, ready, play. How'd you do?